Envy, an essential subject from Vinipedia. One can never expect to find any kind of utopia, even in the spiritual world. Wherever there are persons, there are bound to be differences. One should not expect any kind of perfect arrangement, especially here in the material world. Even sometimes among the gopis there is envy, but that enviousness is transcendental and should not be accepted in the mundane sense. Devotees have no need to compete with materialists because they are on the path back to Godhead, back home where everything is eternal, full and blissful. Srila Prabhupada's books, lectures, conversations and letters offer a comprehensive presentation of this essential subject as seen in the Vinikote's envy category. An introduction from his books is given below in the following 15 quotes. Quotes from Srila Prabhupada's books. Everyone desires to be the greatest personality in this material world. Dva means envy. When one becomes envious of Krishna or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one thinks, why should Krishna be the all and all? I'm as good as Krishna. These two items, desire to be the Lord and envy of the Lord, are the beginning cause of material bondage. Armad Bh Gavatam 3.27. 20. It is not wonderful for persons who have accepted the transient material body as the self to engage always in deriding great souls. Such envy on the part of materialistic persons is very good because that is the way they fall down. They are diminished by the dust of the feet of great personalities. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.4. 13. A person who is unaffected by attachment and envy is said to possess equilibrium. An example of Krishna's equilibrium is given in the 10th canto, 16th chapter, verse 33 of Armad Bh Gavatam in connection with his chastising Kaliya, the 100-headed serpent. While Kaliya was being severely punished, all of his wives appeared before the Lord and prayed as follows. Dear Lord, you have descended to punish all kinds of demoniac living creatures. Nectar of Devotion, Chapter 21. When a man earns money by unfair means and maintains his family and himself with that money, the money is enjoyed by many members of the family, but he alone goes to hell. A person who enjoys life by earning money or by envying another's life and who enjoys with family and friends will have to enjoy alone the resultant sinful reactions accrued from such violent and illicit life. Armad Bh Gavatam 3.30. 31. He who is satisfied with gain which comes of its own accord, who is free from duality and does not envy, who is steady in both success and failure, is never entangled, although performing actions. Bhagavad Gita 4.22. For temporary sense gratification, such a person creates a society of envy, and due to this mentality, he plunges into the ocean of suffering. Such a foolish person does not even know about this. Armad Bh Gavatam 5.5. 16. By making plans with determination, one should give up lusty desires for sense gratification. Similarly, by giving up envy one should conquer anger. By discussing the disadvantages of accumulating wealth one should give up greed. And by discussing the truth one should give up fear. Armad Bh Gavatam 7.15. 22. Even in this material world, in the forest the animals live together, and when they go to drink water they do not attack anyone. Envy develops because of sense gratification, but in Vindivana there is no sense gratification, for the only aim is Krishna's satisfaction. Even in this material world, the animals in Vindivana are not envious of the Estes who live there. Armad Bh Gavatam 10.13. 60. As is the nature of this material world, the king of heaven, Indra, is very anxious if a great sage undergoes severe austerities. The whole material world is filled with such envy that everyone becomes afraid of his neighbors. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.30. 13. Dake, who is so hard-hearted that he is unworthy to be a Brahma, will gain extensive ill fame because of his offenses to his daughter, because of not having prevented her death, and because of his great envy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.4. 30. Any religious system but the process of Bhagavata Dharma service as an eternal servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a system of envy of one's own self and of others. For example, there are many systems of religion in which animal sacrifices are recommended. Such animal sacrifices are inauspicious both for the performer and for the animal. Armad Bh Gavatam 6.16. 42. An uncontrolled mind and an unchaste wife are the same. An unchaste wife can kill her husband at any time, and an uncontrolled mind, followed by lust, anger, greed, madness, envy and illusion, can certainly kill the yog. When the yog is controlled by the mind, he falls down into the material condition. One should be very careful of the mind, just as a husband should be careful of an unchaste wife. Armad Bh Gavatam 5.6. 4. In the material world, everyone is envious of everyone else, and therefore there is competition. But the transcendental devotees of the Lord are not only free from material envy, but are well-wishers to everyone, and they strive to establish a competitionless society with God in the center. The contemporary socialists' conception of a competitionless society is artificial because in the socialist state there is competition for the post of dictator. Armad Bh Gavatam 1.1. 2. A Vairava is always an object of envy for non-devotees, even when the non-devotee happens to be his father. To give a practical example, Hiranyakahipu was envious of Praldama Arya, but this envy of the devotee was harmful to Hiranyakahipu, not to Pralda. Armad Bh Gavatam 9.4. 69. A devotee must therefore be completely free from envy, especially of other devotees. To envy other devotees is a great offense, a Vairava Parda. A devotee who constantly engages in hearing and chanting Rava Kairatana is certainly freed from the disease of envy, and thus he becomes eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. Armad Bh Gavatam 9.11. 23.